Hey, what's up? I'm Cleosim, and welcome to a new challenge that I've been waiting for a little while to bring out. I'm the most procrastinating simmer here on YouTube, but I noticed that sometimes procrastination works out really good in the long run. So this is the Sims 4 Decades Challenge, which is basically a legacy challenge that is going to be represented by counting up through the years from 1890 to 2010, maybe 2020. It depends on how long it takes us to finish this. If you guys caught the info video I put out a couple days ago, I was just telling you basically telling you how it was going to work. Reason how come we're in this mode is because it looks like we're in Newcrest, but actually we are in Ashfern. So I have a new save file. The link to that is in the description. It's by the Midnight Tech, I think that's what it is. And all the worlds, all the worlds are different. This is Sterlington, Cactus Valley, Ashfern, Foxbridge Village, Kingswood, Union City, Ravenstone, and Driftwood. And as far as I know, this is Wayward Pines now. This is the camping. And this is still Selva Dorada. I mean, it's awesome all by itself, yeah? So I thought I would point that out right off, that I am not playing in a normal save. Also, the world is empty. I put this here. We have obviously the Hawkins family, which we will be playing. The Wallace family. This is the Mulcahy's and the Alvarez. This is our garden. Hopefully we can go here and kind of get started. The wedding venue. This is the general store. And this is a house, I believe. This might have been done by Irrelevant Sims, but I can't be sure. Anyway, the church is over here, the local parish. And I want to say it's the Cute Coffee Girl who also modified the rules for this to put this together. I think that's who did that. But that's all we have. The rest of the world is empty. And I will be populating it slowly as we go along, because I thought that would be kind of neat to add to the storyline too. So we're going to pop in and see what Otis and Joe are up to. Alright, so let me put the house back together for you. Right now, they are in their summer attire. Because it is summer. I start all my Let's Plays. When Seasons came out and it asked what I wanted, I always say summer, because that's the way Sims 3 works. I mean, you can choose, obviously. I'm about to be noisy in my chair as I shift, so... There we go. This is Otis. And this is Josephine. We call her Joe. And like I said, we had an info video which gave you a little bit on some of the stuff that will be going on. I gave you a link in the description to Cute Coffee Gal's rules, which also gives you a link to her YouTube channel where she's playing it. It also gives you a link to a extensive CC list if you guys are interested in playing this yourselves, or you want to know where we're getting a lot of the clothing, furniture, items. That is going to be real helpful. It talks to you about aging and time. I said I wasn't going to go real in depth in that in the info, but I get to it later. And I also mentioned about the holidays. Now, I didn't watch that video until today about her getting the holidays together, but I like it. It seems like there's it seems like you might have a lot of days off. But in all honesty, earlier in our history, well, not even just our history, just history period, especially if you go over to Britain, they had 3 times as many holidays as we do now. People were always taking time off to celebrate one thing or another. They were usually mostly religious holidays related to something. And so as we go into, farther into history, you get the holidays get reduced. But I'll show you the calendar a little bit later on. Now, as far as getting started, you can either start with I would be honest and say you'd have to start, if you're going to just have one person, it would have to be a male sim, because according to the rules, those are the ones that are heirs and they run things at this point in time in history. So either you can start off with just a young adult male sim, or you can start off with a couple, as I did. As far as money, whatever we came in here with, which is what, 20,000, just buy everything you're supposed to buy, and then whatever you have left over. As you can see, I have 175. I don't remember. I think I might have deleted some of their funds thinking they're only supposed to have a little bit. So I may mess with their funds a little, but I think they're, it's not supposed to be easy. That's why it's called a challenge. So anyway, I did talk about the cell phones. I use the hotkey M for traveling, so that shouldn't be an issue. But if they want to get jobs and stuff, we're going to have to use the cell phone. I mean, you have to use it for some things just because of this game. But we'll try to keep it, to a minimum. There's the modern conveniences. Oh, yeah, because about the computers. If one of your Sims wants to be a writer before, 1950, 1970, 80, whatever, you're going to have to use a computer and just pretend it's a typewriter until I find something. I told you about the scoring template. I won't be keeping score on this challenge. I'm just going to try to play it. We're going to have to go get a cow plant because the cow plants represent the wars. And when we find one, we will talk about that more. We need it before 1910. So if we don't have it right now, it's fine. The Civil War's been over, 25 years. So that's the only war that's been going on. And this couple is kind of too young to have really been bothered with that. So as far as the 1890s rules, the heir, only male heirs are allowed. If there are no sons, then a daughter's husband may become heir. Traits. Daughters must have creative as their first trait. Relationships and woohooing. Sims may only have a relationship with and marry the opposite gender. Sims may only marry within their own ethnicity or race. Sims must only try for baby and never woohoo. Teenage Sims cannot mess around. Sims cannot get a divorce unless one of them commits adultery, in this case flirting with another Sim in front of the spouse. Female children move out once they are married. Adoption is not allowed. Home and building. No electricity. Use candles or lanterns to light up the house. Outhouses required. No toilets in the home. Only bathtubs. No showers. Only wooden furniture is allowed in the house. Wooden floors and walls. No drywall or wallpaper. Rugs are allowed. Buy the cheapest, oldest stoves, fridge, counters, etc. No other kitchen appliances are allowed besides the stove and fridge. Painting styles allowed are landscape, classic, impressionism, and realism. Kids' drawings can only be hung in the kids' rooms. Not allowed. Coffee and tea brewers, DJ equipment, earbuds, kids' tablets, thermostats, and anything else that obviously wasn't around in 1890. No holiday decorations, with the exception of indoor decorations around winter holidays. A small personal greenhouse for your home is allowed, but large commercial farm greenhouses are not. Education. Elementary school is mandatory, but high school is optional. High school has a fee. It costs $1,000 for every teen to go to school. Career. Men can only have the criminal, boss, doctor, entertainer, musician. So you can be a criminal boss, you can be a doctor, you can be an entertainer, the musician branch, a gardener, either branch, a politician, a scientist, writing, either branch. Career. Men can choose to stay home and make money through woodworking, painting, or gardening. You can open a retail store or a restaurant only if you have enough money. Women take care of children, tidy the house, and cook. They can help tidy the garden and go jogging for fun. If a woman becomes widowed, then she may earn money through painting, gardening, or woodworking. If she becomes divorced, then she can also join the entertainer musician career. Miscellaneous. Your Sims cannot go to the festival or city events. If your Sims get sick, you can't give them medicine. You have to cure them through natural remedies. Your Sims may not throw any events besides weddings. Birth must occur at homes. Babies can only be fed through breastfeeding and not by bottle. If your family can afford it, then you can hire a butler or a maid. However, you cannot hire a nanny. No fitness or wellness equipment is allowed. Sims may work on these skills without equipment. Vacations are not allowed, but camping is. Archaeology became more prevalent in the mid-20th century, but did not exist in the 1800s. So you can travel to Salvadorada from the beginning, but keep in mind this would be incredibly rare and definitely not a family vacation opportunity. Veterinarians for house pets were not common. You may have a pet dog or cat, but you cannot take them to the vet if they are sick, and you cannot spay or neuter them. Small pets were not yet kept in the 1890s. Also, no pet clothing is allowed. All laundry must be done with a small basin and a clothesline. Playground equipment, play dates, and ball pits were not yet invented and therefore not allowed. You may want to start working on your cow plant in this decade. Okay, so that's quite an extensive thing, but that is everything that applies to the 1890s, and the rules will change slightly when we get to the decade of 1900. So now that we've gone through all that, the rest of it, like I said, you can read for yourself. I will show you what's going on in their house. This is just for decoration, but you got to know they'd probably have a water pump. I just built this little shack here. I'm not much for building, but if you were a homesteader, you would have built your own. You would have, started out like this. I think I mentioned that because I'm from the Midwest. I live in the South, but I'm from the Midwest. I know about homesteading, and I'm more familiar with that as opposed to sharecropping, which was something that was going on in the South. So here's where she does the laundry. Here is his woodworking, because they do have a back door. And there's her lantern. This is the outhouse. Uh-oh, I'm not going down. There we go. Okay. So this is their toilet, their bathtub. As you can see, there's not much. Now this, I'm going to have to, I imagine this is just sod. That was what a lot of the people on the prairies built. They're called sod houses, and it's basically mud, and you made mud bricks, and then you built you a little house. I'm actually from Independence, Kansas, where the Ingalls family lived for a little while. And if you go to Independence, Kansas, we have a museum that's outdoors, and it has their cabin. It has the one-room schoolhouse, and it also has a post office. And then over the hill, I don't know if they've marked it or not, but that doctor, the black doctor that used to come in when they lived in Independence, Kansas, that's there at the museum too. Just little, like I said, I know more about this type of living than I know about Southern living. So this is their wood floors, which in all honesty would have been dirt, but if they had trees, which as you can see, they don't. And there were not a lot of trees on the prairie. This is their furniture as far as where they sit. This is a messed up deal for a sink, but hey, whatever. This right here, believe it or not, is their refrigerator. It's the pantry. So it looks like I do not have a doorway there for it. It's certainly, I wonder what happened to that. Or maybe it's there and I'm just blind. That's happened. Here, we'll use this. So this is the doorway. I was pretty sure I had a doorway though. I'll have to find him something. Or maybe it's because it's not the right way. Yeah, I'll have to take care of that. I don't have to do that right now. As a matter of fact, we probably want to see a little bit of gameplay for this first episode. So that's it. They're gonna have to start farming. It's summertime. Let's meet Joe and Otis. All right, so backstory on them. They came from the South, but they did not want the same type of life their families had, so they decided to go west. There you guys go. Let's go somewhere. Go west and make their living. You could get 160 acres. We're going here to the community garden for free. You had to work the land for 5 years. And if at that time you were still on the land and you were still making improvements to it, obviously farming and whatnot, the land was yours. It was free. All west of the Mississippi. And Abraham Lincoln passed the Homestead Act in 1862. Looks like her head's on backwards. Now look there. There is a cow plant. Okay, so he is miserable. Apparently this is not good surroundings. They don't like it here. I don't know why. Let's harvest all. You don't water stuff. I want you to harvest all. We're gonna try to get as much stuff as possible. They need food anyway. Now there's some plants here that obviously, and if I don't catch them in time, we're gonna have to get rid of stuff like this, because I think these are, yeah, from Sixum. I've not ever been to Sixum, but I can imagine that some of the stuff's coming from here. So you can paint here. Where'd she go? She don't want to help? Girl. Here, pick these. Harvest the, yes, harvest lilies. We'll see if we can't get her to work a little bit too. There you go. Hopefully she can do flower, whatever. I guess because he's doing most of it, she's like, yeah, I'm not gonna be bothered. There will be canning to help them out. And we need to go fishing. So you can play chest here. Chest. I always, I get mad when other people say it, and now I see how come it happens. Chess. No T. Chess. Go to the bathroom. Play chess. Anything else? No. The bar. This is the barn wedding venue, so. Girl, go home. You're tripping. Just go on. He's got this. You got to help him anyway. Okay. Now, I don't want you picking anything else you're not supposed to. Let's have a look at the calendar right before we end this episode. So, there was quite a few holidays that Cute Coffee Gal added. And when she got done, it's peppered with holidays, which is fine. If you really, really wanted to, you could, separate it, because the weeks can be up to what, 2 or 4. And if you spread out a summer over 3 weeks, you could have all kinds of stuff going on. But you don't want to do that. So we've got Memorial Day, Independence Day, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's Eve, Easter, and Valentine's Day. Now, I watched and it was like, we should have Valentine's Day before Easter. Personally, I don't think it matters. It's just for storytelling purposes anyway. And as we go through, there'll be more holidays added. I watched her video and she mentioned something about Martin Luther King Day. And I'm going to be adding their anniversary, and of course you add the birthdays in. So when you factor in that and some other holidays that the game, like the lottery and the fight day and all that they sneak in, I think there's going to be plenty enough stuff as far as holidays goes to keep the game interesting. Also, you want to make sure they don't have too many days off, because I mean, they are trying to make some money, right? Family legacy and all that. So if you like this video and you are excited to go forward with the decade challenge and grow the Hawkins family to the great heights of the 21st century, slap that like button. And don't forget to subscribe, because you don't want to miss out on more episodes of The Sims 4 Decade Challenge. I'm Cleo Sim, and I'm out.